All right, everyone, we are joined now by Jimmie Johnson, driver of the number 48 Lowe's Patriotic Chevrolet and defending winner of the Coca-Cola 600. Jimmie obviously is a six-time Sprint Cup Series champion. You've been able to find success at a number of tracks, but you've been especially good here at Charlotte throughout your career. Just talk about coming into a racetrack where you consistently run so well and what your expectations are for this weekend.
Yeah, it's always great to come to a track that you have a great past at, great history at. Unfortunately, the showing we had in the All-Star race was less than stellar, so the confidence we'd normally walk in with has been diluted with lack of speed that we had then. Brought back a different car and certainly trying to do things differently with the setup of the race car. I think the 600-mile race has always been good for us. Chad and I can seem to fix our race car as the night goes on, be aggressive with adjustments, chase the racetrack well. I do a nice job searching for lines, and the distance of the race doesn't bother me. So I think we'll have a strong night, but we got a few things to sort out today and even into Saturday's practice sessions, based on what we learned and what we saw during the All-Star race.
All right, great. So we'll open it up to questions now for Jimmie. If you have one, please raise your hand, and we'll get a mic to you. State your name and affiliation, please. We'll start here in the second row with Mike, and then go to Dustin and the gentleman behind them.
Mike Embry, USA Today. Jimmie, last week, end of the race, Harvick is able to just roar through the field, gets up to the front, can't do anything with Hamlin. Is there a short-term or a long-term answer to that, and how do you see Sunday's race developing because of that problem?
Yeah, passing an equal car is just really tough, especially from second to first. We keep working on a variety of rules packages to try to make it better, and I don't think we've made it better. At some tracks it looks like the package works better. I don't think we've necessarily heard it, but it's so hard to get around the brutal truth that the car leading has the best aero situation and the rest don't. I mean, it's just very difficult to get around that. I feel like the teams have worked real hard. I feel like there was a direction that had a lot of the drivers encouraged about creating more off-throttle time. This rules package has not done that, but for 2016, there was a lot of hope that we were going that direction. Looks like that stuff's been tabled for now, potentially. So, the more wide open percentage throttle you're running, it's just harder to pass. It makes the track more narrow, makes the air for the leader more of a premium. So I don't know how. I don't think there is an easy fix. I really don't. And this track, although it's a big, fast track, it is narrow, especially on corner entry and corner exit. So to really make a second lane or a third lane work, it's tough. I mean, you have the real estate to do it in the center of the corner, but you can't go anywhere with that run. So I think this track is also not the best track for this current rules package. And I think the Atlanta, Texas, much wider, abrasive surfaces work better. Put on a better show.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. This past week saw the incident with James Hinchcliffe in Indianapolis, and according to the reports, the safety crew was credited with saving his life. While that is a dedicated traveling safety team for that series, which is not in this series, is there, when you see something like that, and if you've investigated or looked into it, I mean, does that make you think that there's something that can be pulled from that? Or are you comfortable with what it is here? Does it matter if there's a dedicated safety team or not?
It's a point that NASCAR is willing to talk to the drivers about, and I've sat in on a lot of discussions batting around the reason why we have the situation we do. And NASCAR is adamant that having true ER folks that every single day fight in an ER room to save people's lives are the best people to have in place here on a weekend for us. In my heart, I feel like there's maybe a hybrid version where we have those EMTs here, but then we also have people that are very sharp and NASCAR specific, car specific, know the drivers, know our cockpits, and I know that NASCAR briefs them and works with them on all that. But with Hinchcliffe's crash and then going back to Zanardi's crash, My attorney, Alan Miller, represents Alex and was there and present, and everybody knows that that crew saved Alex's life 2 or 3 times before he ever got to the hospital. So, they do an amazing, however they make it work, they do an awesome job doing it. And, but again, I've sat in many conversations with NASCAR, and they truly believe that they have the safest environment for us. So, I haven't been in that world. I don't know if Tony, maybe Juan, it'd be smart for us as a group to go talk to maybe Juan and say, hey, you've seen both sides now. What's the difference? Where can we be better? It's probably a smart thing to do. Yeah.
Jared Turner, FoxSports.com. Hey, Jimmy. Hey.
Oh, yes. No.
Over here, Jimmy.
Sorry.
Hey, buddy.
Pretend I see it. There you are.
Yeah, 2 questions. The first question is, what was your reaction to the warning your team received for the issue with the side skirts in the All-Star race? And my second question, and I mean this in all sincerity, what kind of parenting advice would you give to Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski as a parent yourself?
Parenting side, that first year you're trying to find your new normal is tough for all parents. And as wonderful as the experience is, trying to balance life and career is tough. So just to be patient with it and know that, that first year you're going to earn your stripes, and things seem to, at least to the 4.5 years I've experienced, things seem to get you get a better flow going as you get deeper into things. I understand that teenage years it's going to change, but fortunately pretty far from that right now. The warning, we were very shocked to even hear that there was an issue with the side skirts. And I think leaving the racetrack, NASCAR was upset and thought there was a lot more intent and something going wrong with the side skirt being pulled out. And then as video became available and they looked through it and watched and saw what was done, it calmed down. So we were shocked to hear that there was an issue, and because we had crash damage on the right side of the car, and then it certainly turned out that way.
Okay, we're going to go over to the right side with Ben.
Jimmy Ben White, Lexington Dispatch. This is a question concerning Daytona coming up in, 6 weeks. You've got 3 super speedway wins this year. You've won 3 times at Daytona. Can you just talk about what kind of confidence it would build for you to be able to go back there and win again as far as your chase hopes? I know you're already in the chase, but can you just talk about your confidence if you were to win there?
Yeah, now maybe you can help me with this. Is it a Sunday race? Does anybody know? Or Saturday night race? Sunday night, so it's still night. Okay. I just heard about this today. I was like, wait a second, it's always been Saturday night. So in my mind, I thought it was a day race and day conditions, and I got excited for that. I mean, make the cars handle, let's figure out how to drive these things, set up a premium. But since it's a night race, it'll be just a wild and crazy plate race. And I think plate races that aren't in the chase are, especially me being locked in, I don't have to worry about a win, they're fun. You just go out there with a clean slate, let it rip, and hope you can get to victory lane. So I'll really look forward to that race.
Jay Pennell with Fox Sports. Last week we saw Jamie Dick hit a piece of lead or tungsten, and it really damaged the windshield significantly and came in and hit his helmet. Last year at Texas, you had windshield damage after Dale Jr. hit the grass. How concerning is that to see an incident like that? And from your experience last year, just your comments on what happened there.
Yeah, the halo bar in the car is there for flipping and things like that. The intrusion from outside things such as sod, that Junior chunked that sod up and I hit it. I feel like our cars are designed really well and can withstand all that. And the damage I had to my car was just due to the fact that the exterior shell is a distance away from that halo bar, and it just smashed that stuff in. Wasn't a big deal. But a piece of tungsten, that's a whole new game. And thankfully he wasn't injured, or the car wasn't damaged even anymore. I've unfortunately never seen it before. I've always wondered what would happen. And I think there's an incident at Phoenix ages ago where a piece of lead got out of a car and went through the concrete wall in turns 1 and 2 I heard about. That's just bad news. And anything we can do to ensure that all those lead rails are secure and tight and nothing's getting out, I'm in favor of any rule to go down that road, because you can't stop a piece of tungsten like that. Jamie was very lucky to not be injured in that incident.
Okay, we've got time for one more. We're going to come right here to the left with Tom.
Jimmy, Tom Jensen, FoxSports.com. So what did happen last weekend? Did you find it out, and are you confident you've addressed it?
Not necessarily. We'll find out here in practice coming up. The car had decent speed in practice in the sun, and we got into the night and just couldn't get the car to turn. So we're bringing back a different race car and different setup and see what happens. And all this day practice does not help build confidence in a night race, you know, because we thought we were good in the day last weekend when tonight didn't have what we needed. So this track's tricky. You know, it is tough to get it right. Luckily, it's a long race, and if need be in the race, we'll make big changes. Yep.
All right, Jimmy, thank you for joining us this afternoon. Best of luck throughout the weekend.